YouTube 見ました。いやでも本当サッカーも歩けるかもわからんって言われてたんで、そうです感動しました。いやもうなんか俺こそんなね、めっちゃしんどそうや。カメラ回ってないので結構泣いてて、辛いよなって。
Well, hello and welcome to the Machida GION Stadium in Tokyo for a Tokyo derby between Machida Zelvia and Tokyo Verdy. It is the second derby in the space of 4 days for the visitors here off the back of their 2-1 defeat against FC Tokyo on Sunday. Machida Zelvia looking to continue their fine form since the disappointment of losing in the Asian Champions League elite final to Al Ahly about a month ago. Well, Machida Zelvia, a team trying to build a legacy. It has been an extraordinary story since winning promotion under Gokarada in the 2023 season as J2 champions. They came up, led the top flight for a long time before eventually finishing third. They won the Emperor's Cup last season, their first ever major trophy in the club's history, and very nearly became Asian champions a month ago before just falling short in the final. For Tokyo Verdy, it's all about trying to live up to a legacy. Their franchise, one of the most successful in Japanese football history, 7-time champions of Japan, and they were the country's second ever Asian champions when they lifted the old Asian Champions Cup back in the late 1980s. They've struggled these days, though, to keep up with the pace at the right end of the table. Last season, they missed relegation by 8 points, but finished just 1 place above the bottom 3. There have been improvements, though, to the form in this bridging season for the next campaign. And Tokyo Verdy do lie 5th in the East region with 6 wins from 15 games. Well, Machida Zelvia go largely with the same team that started the win at Jeff United on Sunday. Goalkeeper and back 3 remain in place, with the only change coming in the centre of the midfield, with Ryohei Shirasaki returning to the starting 11, having been on the bench in Chiba. Up front, Tete Yengi continues at centre-forward, despite just 2 league goals in 12 appearances this season. Although Korean Na Sang-ho, tucked in behind, found his shooting boots, hitting a double at the weekend in that win at Jeff United. Man in charge of this one, Hayato Shimizu. 42-year-old official taking charge of his 9th J1 match this season. Shu Kawatama is the lead VAR official. Well, the big news, Matheus Vidotto returns in goal for Tokyo Verdy, making his first appearance since picking up an injury against Kashima Antlers in early March. Kazuya Miyahara is recalled to the back three, while in the centre of midfield, Kosuke Saito starts, having come off the bench late at FC Tokyo. Verdy's front three has struggled for goals, with just 6 between them so far this season. And centre forward Itsuki Somino hasn't scored for 4 games, netting just once in the last 7, and that from the penalty spot. Now the two coaches, Go Kurada, who's done such a wonderful job at Machida Zelvia. Hiroshi Jofuku is opposite number, the 64-year-old, who's been in charge since 2022. And like his opposite number, Go Kurada led Tokyo Verdy to their promotion as well. Machida Zelvia yet to win a Tokyo derby this season inside the 90 minutes. These two drew 2-2, with Verdy winning on penalties earlier in the season. They were beaten by FC Tokyo and had a goalless draw as well against the third Tokyo side. So in a rainy Tokyo, it is the Tokyo derby between Machida Zelvia and Tokyo Verdy at the Machida GION Stadium. It's third against 5th in the East region. Machida Zelvia 8 points behind the leaders Kashima Antlers. A win here would only move them within 5 points, with 2 games to play in the regular season after today. Machida Zelvia in the all blue, Tokyo Verdy in the change strip of white shirts, green shorts. Machida Zelvia with Tokumura. Now Na Sang-ho will be buzzing after his double gave them victory in Chiba against Jeff United at the weekend. Second place in the East remains a legitimate target for Machida Zelvia. A win here would see them just a point behind FC Tokyo with 2 to play. And it could potentially give an opportunity to qualify for the qualifying playoff rounds of the now expanded AFC Champions League Elite. That all relies, though, on Gamba Osaka failing to win the AFC Champions League 2 final against Al Nassr in 3 days' time. Here's Dresovic. Here's Uchida. They are guaranteed Asian club competition football next season in the AFC Champions League 2. Machida Zelvia as a result of last season's Emperor's Cup win. It is the second-tier competition in Asia. Ryuki Mai. Machida Zelvia have really come out of nowhere to threaten the established order in Tokyo of FC Tokyo and Tokyo Verdy. Here's Morita. A goal who put Tokyo Verdy 1-0 up against FC Tokyo at the weekend. Morita, before they let the lead slip to lose 2-1. It's a goal kick for Machida Zelvia. Really has done a wonderful job. Two coaches in their 60s. 2023, both won promotion to the top flight in Japan. Go Kurada's side as champions. Hiroshi Jofuku's team had to do it the hard way by winning the playoffs. Both have remained in the top flight, but with varying success. Machida Zelvia challenging straight away at the very top of the table. Looked as though for a while they may follow in the footsteps of Gamba Osaka and Kashiwa Reysol as teams to come up and win the top flight in their first season. Fell short in the end. Touch off by Yengi. And the ball into the penalty area by Kumatoria was a bit short. Here's Shoji. Touch off from Shirasaki. Machida Zelvia is certainly the side in form. They're unbeaten in 4 games, winning their last 2. They've lost just 1 in their last 9, and that was the AFC Champions League Elite Final to Al Ahly in their own backyard in Jeddah, and that after extra time. Touch off from Somino. Heavy touch from Dresovic. Picked up though by Shoji. And the header back by Yosuke Uchida. Lost their last 2, Tokyo Verdy. Both away from home, beaten by Kawasaki Frontale and then FC Tokyo, 1-0 and 2-1. Had won 3 games in a row prior though, including a 2-1 win against Kashima Antlers, which remains the champions' only loss this season. A camera down the line for Eric to chase. Miyahiro across though to get the foot in. Kazuya with the throw. Shoji looking for a bit of distance on this. Gets plenty on it as well. Tokyo Verdy headed away as Nasang Ho. Shoji back in. And for Kazuya, happy to see that behind. Machida Zelvia unbeaten against Tokyo Verdy for a couple of games now. A win and a draw since a 1-0 loss here in February of 2025, early last season, which is actually their only loss in the last 8 against Tokyo Verdy. Matsuoshi unable to bring the ball down. Now Yengi. Shoji clearing it at the same time, almost playing it out to Nasang Ho. He was just beaten by the stronger Kaito Suzuki in the end. Saito. Back with Mateus Vidotto. MEIJI with the chest down. Here's Shoji. Six wins, 6 defeats, 3 draws for Tokyo Verdy from their 15 games so far. Machida Zelvia beaten just twice in open play outside of penalty shootouts in their 15 this season. They've won their last 2 at home without conceding against Yokohama F. Marinos and Kashiwa Reysol. Here's Tokumura. Makes his way into the penalty area, and comfortable gather in the end for Matthias Vidotto. Their last loss here was in a Tokyo derby against FC Tokyo. On the 1st of April, they were well beaten 3-0. Good work from Tokumura. Routine stop, though, for Matthias Vidotto. The 33-year-old who's been at Tokyo Verdy since 2020. More work to do here, though, because Machida Zelvia have a corner. Delivered across, Mai putting it behind, though, and now it is a goal kick for Tokyo Verdy. Away form's not been great for the visitors here. They've won their opening game at the season at Kashiwa Reysol, last season's runners-up, but haven't won away in 6 since, losing 5 of them. Their only away point coming at Araya Reds in a 1-1 draw. They won the subsequent penalty shootout 3-1 to grab the extra point. The camera forwards. Na Sang-ho looking to get on the end of that. Tokyo Verdy making a bit of a meal of getting it away. And one back again by Ibrahim Dresovic. Tokumura. Given away by Na to Matsuashi. Saito. And Fukazawa unable to control it. Fukazawa, who joined Tokyo Verdy straight from university 5 years ago. Vastly experienced coach Hiroshi Yofuku, former coach of Sanfrecce Hiroshima and twice FC Tokyo. Camera across, feeds it back to Kosei Tani. It's any surprise to see Machida Zelvia dominating the early possession of the ball. Launched by Tani. Suzuki intercepting, and Matsuashi. Fukazawa. Now Morita, the captain, gets the cross in. Too close to the goalkeeper, though. Here's Na Sang-ho. Behind by Suzuki for another Machida Zelvia corner. Such a key component of their attacks, Na Sang-ho. So much creativity offered by the Korean. That'll be Na Sang-ho to take the corner. Had only scored 1 goal this season until his double. Saw off Jeff United 2-0 at the weekend. And swinger from Na, the header on. Tokyo Verdy get it away. It's back with the Korean again. Nasangho, Shirasaki still up there in support with him. Makes the space to dig out the cross, got plenty of depth on it as well, and Matthias Vidotto, though, grabbing it on the stretch. MEIJI trying to get the foot in. Shirasaki couldn't get there either. Launched away by Tani. Up towards Yengi, who flicks the header on. It's off the head of Matsuoshi and behind for a goal kick. For Matsuoshi, broke into the first team in 2020 and then had a couple of years being loaned out before returning to the fold a couple of seasons ago. Here's Morita. In by Saito, throwing his arms up in the air in frustration that Fukazawa didn't make more of that. Here's Morita. All the way through to Kosei Tani. Tokamura. Now Shoji. Up towards Nasangho, who won the header. Here's Tete Yengi. Helped on by MEIJI again to Tokamura. Continue to probe Machida Zelvia. Setting the tempo of the game, dominating the ball, but have not really troubled Matthias Vidotto yet in the Tokyo Verdy goal. Dresovic. Here's MEIJI. Yengi overrunning it, ran into too much traffic in there. Here's Matsuoshi. Don't think he's been overly convincing during his loan spell. Tete Yengi, he's on loan from Scottish side Livingston. It's 2 goals in 12 appearances in the league this season. Actually scored more goals in the Champions League, a couple against Chengdu Rongcheng, and on target against Al Ittihad with the winner in the quarter-final. Yengi looking to get the foot in, but it's back with Kaito Suzuki. Morita. To throw for Machida Zelvia. Dresovic back to Tani. Now a bit of space for the captain, Shoji. Didn't use that momentum, though, just hung on to the ball to assess his options. There's Nakamura into Mai. Shoji looking for the ball over the top, but Miyahara is there to head it away. Matsueshi looking for the run of Somino. Shoji is there to cut it out, though. Mai picks up the loose ball, stabbed forward by Fukazawa. And the shot was always going wide. Fell invitingly for Kumatoria. Well off target, though. Just the one goal in 7 appearances this season for Kumatoria. Came in the 2-1 win at home to the leaders Kashima Antlers, which was certainly the upset of the season so far. And as I was saying, the only loss in open play for the champions. Just a finger in the eye, maybe, for Yosuke Uchida. I think he's okay. Matthias Vidotto. Now that was a hefty challenge from Dayashi Okamura. Free kick for Verdy. In their third different guise as a club. They were originally Yomiuri FC until they became Verdy Kawasaki when the J-League era kicked in. It was under those two guises where the club had most of its success. It's not been the same story since they moved from Kawasaki back to Tokyo and became Tokyo Verdy. Their last title was in 1994, the last of 4 successive Japanese titles. They won the last 2 amateur-era crowns in the Japan Soccer League, and they won the first 2 professional titles when the J-League was formed. 5-time Emperor's Cup winners. The last of those, though, was 22 years ago. And that's an easy gather for Koze Tani. Suzuki's header. Here's Nasangho. Tokomura. Those extra lines you can see on the pitch, by the way, that is because this stadium is shared by Cannon Eagles, the rugby union team that shares this grounds with Machida Zelvia. Shirasaki. Now a camera onto Shoji. Haven't really got Eric into the game yet, Machida Zelvia, the creative Brazilian. Hayashi back to Suzuki. There is Eric. Forced away by Morita. Only as far as Shirasaki, though. Now Dresovic. Morita, always buzzing around those central areas for Tokyo Verdy. Here's Hayashi. Now Suzuki. Dresovic. Tokumura. And a lot of play down this near side so far without any avail really from Machida Zelvia. Shoji. Tokyo Verdy happy to sit off when Machida Zelvia have the ball. A camera. Shoji. Eric with the quick exchange of passes. Here's Shirasaki. In possession, finding it very congested ahead of him and his options limited. Jen Shoji has been in that position a few times, and so he is again. Here's a camera. Here's Mai. Tokyo Verdy managing to frustrate Machida Zelvia at the moment. Suzuki. That cup success last season, Machida Zelvia, which was an historic breakthrough moment for them. But they struggled for consistency in the league. They finished 6th, 16 points behind the champions Kashima Antlers, 8 points off Kyoto Sanga, who, as it turns out, wrapped up the 3rd Champions League spot. They didn't know that at the end of the season. It was only when the AFC announced the extended Champions League elite from 24 to 32 that Japan earned itself an extra place in the league phase and an extra spot in the qualification round as well. Shoji. Now Morita. Control from Uchida, and Machida Zelvia have the throw. Shirasaki into Mai. Shoji. Dresovic. Doing a lot of chasing without the ball, Tokyo Verdy. Dresovic going long this time up to Nasangho. He can't control either. Wet conditions playing their part here, I think. A camera. Dresovic. Whoever has it in the back three of Machida Zelvia looks up and finds their options limited. There's been an awful lot of passing between the back three and the deep-lying midfielder, be that either Shirasaki or Mei. Slice clearance. Tokumura. Now made the run for him. It's with Mei now. Tokumura. Just too much on the ball into the penalty area. Showed a bit more imagination there, though, Machida Zelvia in the final third. Shoji playing the ball down the side. Just too much on it, though, for Ryohei Shirasaki, who had made the run from midfield. Well, the rain continuing to fall. Half an hour gone. Machida Zelvia 0, Tokyo Verdy 0. It's only the sixth meeting in the top flight between these two Tokyo rivals. Machida Zelvia have fared better with 3 wins. Just the 1 win for Tokyo Verdy and 1 draw, which was earlier this season. It is the 3rd top flight meeting here, and it's a win each in the previous 2. Shoji. That win for Tokyo Verdy here at the very start of last season by a 1-0. Mei to Na. Wriggles away from a couple of challenges and finds Yengi. Hayashi recovered well, though. Na, lovely little touch from Na. Yengi, can he get the shot away? Well, he can, but it's well off target. And he was off balance as he took it. A lovely little touch in here from Na Sang-ho. Played perfectly, flicked into the path of Tete Yengi. Does look a bit cumbersome at times when he's in the opposition's penalty area. He's never been the most prolific of strikers. He scored 10 in 63 appearances for Livingston in Scotland. Didn't score at all in 16 appearances for Northampton Town in England. Tokumura's throw, Yengi with the flick on. Here's Eric. He's an effective target man, though, Tete Yengi, and does hold the ball up well. At 6'6", you would expect him to be more of an aerial threat than he actually is. Miyahara. Here's Morita. Only 25, but very much a one-club man and has been in the Verdy first team since 2019. This is 237th league appearance for Tokyo Verdy, in J2 and J1 put together. Key component of their promotion in 2023. Here's Morita. Hayashi. Now Suzuki. Tokumura. Well, look at that, utter dominance in terms of possession, but interestingly, Tokyo Verdy with more attempts at goal and one more on target as well. Although neither goalkeeper has been overly worked, it's fair to say. Here's Dresovic. But it signals Machida Zelvia's lack of creativity, really, in this first half, despite their dominance. Yengi. Now Eric. Quite first half for him so far. Throw quickly taken. Shoji just sees it out under pressure from Kumatoria. Camera. Here's Dresovic. Now Sang-ho. Always available. Dropping deep to try and help out the Machida Zelvia rear guard with their lack of options in terms of distribution. Here's Shoji. Forced back again by Tokyo Verdy, but here's Shirasaki now. Mai. Now Sang-ho. Bit of space now for Tokumura. Shifted across to Yengi. Well, he's appealing for handball. Matthias Vedotto just gets on with the task of putting it into touch. There will be a conversation with the VAR. And a concerned look on the face of Hiroshi Jofuku. It looks like the shoulder, doesn't it? Tokumura. I imagine that was a very short conversation with the VAR. One look at that replay tells you all you need to know. Shoji. Back from the camera. Well, they're pretty adept at winning tight games, Machida Zelvia. It was certainly the case in their run to the final of the Champions League Elite. 1-0 win in the semi-final against Shabab Al-Akli, the 1-0 quarter-final win against Al-Ittihad. They even won 1-0 on aggregate over the two games in the round of 16 against Korean side Gangwon. And this is certainly another of those tight games. A camera. Shoji. Tokumura back to Dresevic. The Kosovan clips it over the top, but with too much on it for Shirasaki, who is the player that likes to break out of that deep midfield four for Machida Zelvia and add the extra number in attack. Hayashi. Tete Yengi couldn't take advantage of the situation, and Miyahara is there to bring it away. If it stays like this, Machida Zelvia will be 3 points behind FC Tokyo in second with 2 games remaining. Tokyo Verdy would hop up to 4th with the point ahead of Arar Reds. Here's Eric. Of course, there's the extra point available if it was to finish in a draw in the penalty shootout, which could edge them a point closer to FC Tokyo. It's good pressing from Machida Zelvia. A rather panicked clearance in the end from Matheus Vidotto, who was under pressure from Hotake Nakamura. Machida Zelvia corner then. 4 minutes to half-time. If it stays like this, I think Tokyo Verdy will be the more satisfied, despite the fact they haven't seen a great deal of the ball. They have contained Machida Zelvia. Rocky May going short with the corner. In by Na. Yengi touches it back. Oh, it's a spectacular effort from Futa Tokumura, tipped away by Matheus Vidotto. Terrific strike. Hit it with power. It was rising, may not have needed the touch, but couldn't take that chance, Matheus Vidotto. It would have been some way for the 18-year-old to score his first senior goal for the club. Just his 4th start, his 8th appearance for Machida Zelvia for Futa Tokumura. Another set piece dealt with by Tokyo Verdy. Here's May. Oh, just found the head of a camera. Just a tad too high, though, for him to control it. It was a good spot, pulled away, but crossed just a couple of mil too high. There's Dresevic. Tani didn't hit that particularly well, but it found its way through to Tokumura. Dresevic. Eric. Tried the little flick to Yengi, very nearly came off. Last touch was off the Australian striker, though. Hasn't had a great deal to do on his return to action, tipped over that Tokumura effort. Not too many other saves to make in this first half, despite Machida Zelvia's dominance of the ball. Yengi. Mitsuki Somino is the player down. That's his boot there on the pitch as well. Challenges for the ball here. Difficult to see from that, where he lost his boot. It looks as though he's going to be okay. Now there you go, a camera just lands on the heel of his boot and takes it off his foot. Painful one down the back of the Achilles as well. Nothing sinister in that though. Tani. Here's Dresovic. Just a minute to be added on at the end of this first half. Header away by Hayashi. And now Morita. Too much for him to do. There were too many around him in dark blue. Dresovic, Shoji. Now Tokumura. Switched out by Mai. Shirasaki helps it on. Nakamura only really had Shoji in support. And well defended by Fukazawa, much to the delight of the Tokyo Verdy fans behind that goal. Now Sang-ho with the corner, and potentially the last chance for either side to break through before the break. Tipped in by Nat. The header on is off target from a camera. And that header past the post is greeted by the half-time whistle. The first half in which Machida Zelvia have dominated the ball, set the tempo of the game, but in which the returning Mateus Vidotto hasn't had a great deal to do in the Tokyo Verdy goal, who have largely contained Machida Zelvia despite all that possession. And Tokyo Verdy certainly the happier of the two sides heading in to half-time. As it stands, Machida Zelvia would move a point closer to second place FC Tokyo, but there may well be a penalty shootout to come, so let's see. But at half-time, it's Machida Zelvia 0, Tokyo Verdy 0. Welcome back to the Machida GION Stadium. 0-0 between Machida Zelvia and Tokyo Verdy. Yuya Fukuda is coming on for Izai Kamatoria for the second half. So first change made by the visitors. They contain Machida Zelvia pretty well in that first half. The longer it remains at 0-0, the longer he will fancy his side nicking the points inside the 90 minutes. Looking to end that horrible run they've had away from home. No wins in their last 6, 5 defeats. Picked up just 1 point from 18 on the road since winning at last season's runners-up Kashiwa Reysol in their first away game of the season. So it's Tokyo Verdy who get the second half underway at the Machida GION Stadium. 0-0 with Machida Zelvia in the East Region division of the J1 100-year Vision League, the bridging campaign. As Japanese football switches to an autumn to spring season rather than a summer campaign. Yuya Fukuda on them for the second half. 9th appearance of the season. Up towards Yengi, but Suzuki got in there to get it away. Yengi again battling for it. Here's Eric. Now Nakamura. 2 to aim for in the penalty area. Eric with the little dummy. Now Sang-ho with the touch back, and heavy touch from Nakamura. Goal kick for Tokyo Verdy. That pretty much continues the way it went in the first half for Machida Zelvia. Played out by Tani. Here's Shoji. Tete Yengi. Machida Zelvia still smarting from the 2-2 draw back in February. Like this game, it was goalless until the 69th minute. Then Machida Zelvia struck twice through Sommer and Nakayama to lead 2-0 before conceding goals in the 89th. And then the 5th minute of stoppage time from Yamami and Yoshida. Tokyo Verdy then won the subsequent shootout 4-3. Here's Nakamura to take the bonus point. Here's Gen Shoji. Eric. Oh, the flag up just as he seemingly gotten the better of Kaito Suzuki. Remember, if it does finish in a draw, it's a point each. And then the penalty shootout afterwards is just for the extra point. That is the one innovation that is only for this season. Long by Matthias Vidotto. Fukuda. Eric stepping in. Here's Shoji under pressure. And did well under pressure. The out ball to Kozei Tani. That's Tokumura. Tani taking no chances, slams it away into touch. There's Hayashi. Now it's a throw to Machida Zelvia. Wasn't the best ball back to Matthias Vidotto. He was under pressure from Tete Yengi. Shoji. That's a free kick to Machida Zelvia. He's playing the wrong sport there, isn't he? Hiroyuki Mai. Now, that wouldn't have been out of place in a Cannon Eagles rugby union match here in this stadium, that challenge. Saito. Fukuda. Saito again. Miyahara. Shoji getting the foot in. It's a Tokyo Verdy throw. Morita. Fukazawa Morita. Kazuo looking for options. Saito swings the cross in. Oh, it's hit first time and just off target from Kaito Suzuki. Plenty of contact on the ball. Came off the back of Dresovic. And had that been on target, Koze Tani would have got nowhere near it. Probably foul to the wrong player, though. He's yet to score a league goal for Tokyo Verdy. Only scored twice in 52 for his former club, Jubilo Iwata. Flick on by Eric. The only goal in the green of Verdy coming in the Emperor's Cup win against Tochigi back in June last year. Camera's header on. And the little touch off towards Matsuashi, who kept chasing and forced Koze Tani to put it into touch. Stronger start to the second half from Tokyo Verdy. Fukazawa. Clumsy from Eric, but he got away with it. Nasang Ho, Tete Yengi. It's asked a lot of Tokumura there, but he has got there. Faced by Suzuki. Tokumura goes on the outside and Suzuki puts it behind for a corner. Swift riposte though from Machida Zelvia. Teenager trying to skip away from Suzuki, but he timed his challenge well. Sangho with the corner, and it's an easy claim for Mateus Vidotto. Oh, the goalkeeper quickly off his line there, Tani, because Matsuashi was very nearly in. Yengi. Nasang Ho. Turned into Uchida, but wins it back, the Korean. Still going Nat. It's a good run. And a goal kick. His was the last touch. Such a threat, though, Nasang Ho. Played for FC Tokyo in the 2019-20 campaign. Returned to Korea with FC Seoul before coming back to J.League in 2024 with Machida Zelvia. 30 caps for the Korea Republic. Shoji. Almost pounced upon. The camera clears it away up towards Nasang Ho. Challenged by Suzuki. And Nasang Ho has gone down. Tokumura. Well, they won't want to lose him. That'll be a big concern. His work rate, his creativity. Probably doesn't add enough goals to his game to be the complete attacking midfielder, Nasang Ho, but he did at the weekend. it produced a 2-0 win for Machida Zelvia against newly promoted Jeff United. Tokumura. Shirasaki with the touchback. Now with Tani. There's a camera to Shoji. Yengi with the flick on. It was a good first touch from Eric. Second one not quite so good though. Uchida able to clear it away. Yengi. Oh, Mai with the cross in. And then the header behind from Matsuashi. Machida Zelvia with another corner. Haven't made the best of numerous set pieces that they've had so far, the home team. Now Sangho to deliver. Tokyo Verdy get it away. Here's Shirasaki. Now Mai. Too much on that from Tani, all the way through to Matthias Vidotto. I think if they're really to challenge again for the title as they did in 2024 next season, Machida Zelvia, they need to find an end product or more of a cutting edge. Uchida's throw. It's going to be a fascinating campaign again next season. FC Tokyo look as though they could challenge the way they've played in the 100-year Vision League. Vissel Kobe, of course, will be there, but Nagoya Grampus returning to form as well in the West. There's Matthias Vidotto. You wonder if, under Toru Iniki, though, Kashima Antlers are going to enjoy a period of dominance, which he produced at former club Kawasaki Frontale. Hayashi. Uchida. By Tokumura. Managed to keep the ball in play as well. He's played well, the youngster. There's Sangho. Yengi wasn't the best ball back, but managing to pick up on it anyway. Here's Shirasaki. Miyahara. Well, it started brighter in the second half, Tokyo Verdy, but it's gone back to a familiar pattern of the first half of Machida Zelvia dominating the ball. Dresovic. Yengi. Now Sang-ho with a bit of space. Tokumura. Whip the ball into the danger zone. Somano back covering. Just barely had the ball. Itsuki Somano, the Verdy centre forward. That's a clear foul by Uchida on Futa Tokumura. Lovely little body swerve, great pace to get away from Uchida, and he was left with little option. It's a yellow card for his troubles as well. That means a suspension for him. He will miss the trip to Mito Hollyhock at the weekend, which, by the way, will be Tokyo Verdy's 4th successive away game. Finish the season at home to Yokohama F. Marinos before the playoff week. Now Sang-ho, 6 to aim for in there. Whips it in dangerously, punched away by Matheus Vidotto. It's a good delivery this time. Shoji just unable to get his head to it before the Brazilian goalkeeper. Matheus Vidotto, by the way, the only player in the Tokyo Verdy squad that doesn't hail from Japan, their only foreign player. Oh, he's inches away from getting a touch on that, Shoji, isn't he? I think he's just landed a bit heavily, but he's okay. The Machida Zelvia captain. Who joined the club from Kashima Antlers in 2023. Had 2 spells with Kashima Antlers. He played in France for Toulouse just for a season, 19 appearances there before returning to Japanese football with Gamba Osaka. 20 caps for the Samurai Blue, the national team of Japan. Shirasaki. Under pressure from Kosuke Saito. Shirasaki. Tokumura. He's really beginning to grow into this game. Now Sang-ho with the touch off, Yengi beaten to it though. And then it's a foul by the Australian striker and a free kick to Tokyo Verdy. Naoki Hayashi, the player caught. It was late, it was clumsy. And another change. Yoan Matsuashi is coming off Yuta Arai. '23-year-old for his 14th appearance of the season. Was sent off on the final day of the last campaign in a 4-1 loss to Gamba Osaka. Did score the 90th minute winner 6 minutes after coming on in a 1-0 win against Kashiwa Reysol a couple of weeks ago. Towel is out, the ball is dried. Here it goes. Now Sang-ho. Looking for the ball in the channel to Eric, but it's overhit. There's the substitute, Arai. For Kazawa. I think he thought about the shot for a second there, Yuya Fukuda, and then changed his mind and seemed to be then caught in two minds, and I think coming in an attack for Tokyo Verdy. Then with the corner. And finally, hopefully, he can deliver. It's a deep delivery. Tani came and got nowhere near it. Quickly retreats back into his 6-yard box and then gathers the loose ball. Not the most convincing piece of goalkeeping, but he got away with it, Koze Tani. Nakamura. Arai sticking with him, though. Matthias Vidotto launches it forwards. Shoji. Kazuo with the throw. Go Kurada and the majority of the Machida Zelvia coaching staff thought it should have gone their way. They do have the ball now. Shoji winning the free kick. It's an intriguing stadium, this, isn't it? You've got that three-tiered stand on the far side there. But a lot of the stands are open, and fans in those areas getting absolutely soaked here this evening. Mai has gone down, suggesting there was an arm being flailed in his direction. Yeah, not a lot in that. "20 minutes to go then, still goalless. Machida Zelvia heading for the fourth Tokyo derby this season without a win in 90 minutes. Could be their third draw. Yengi, the header back across. Interestingly, neither of these sides have won any of their Tokyo derbies this season outside of penalty shootouts. Tokyo Verdy have drawn 2 and lost 1. FC Tokyo beating both these teams. $7,500 the attendance for this one. It's just over half of what the stadium holds. Tokumura. I'm sure the weather has played a significant factor in that. Here's Fukuda. Saito. Fukuda shifts it on again to Miyahara. Now Arai turned into Shoji. Seems to pop up everywhere defensively for Machida Zelvia. Fukuda did well to wriggle away, and here's Morita for Kazawa. Takes the throw quickly to Morita. Spent most of the game containing Machida Zelvia. Will Tokyo Verdy be somewhat braver as we head towards the final quarter of the game? Try and grab the win. Here's Arai. And that's behind for a goal kick. It's not as actually a fortress, the GION Stadium, for Machida Zelvia. They lost 2 and won 3 of their 7 home games this season. They lost 7 of their 19 J1 home games last season. Well taken by Fukazawa. Shoji getting across the block though, and it's a corner for Tokyo Verdy. Going short this time to Fukuda. 2 substitutes combining for the short set piece. And Shoji clears it away. It's a bit of a waste actually, but they have the benefit of a throw now. Shoji, Yengi. Quarter of an hour to go, and no changes yet from Go Kurada, which is interesting from Machida Zelvia. Here's for Kazawa. Miyahara. Remember, with Kashima Antlers in with a chance of winning this title, the second place team may well get the Champions League phase spot, meaning the Champions League qualification spot could slip down to the 3rd place side. So there's still a shout if you could get yourself into the 3rd place playoff of snatching a place at least in the qualifying rounds of Asia's top club competition. So Eric and Yengi making way. Sento and Fujio on. So Sento will... Shota Fujio, rather, will lead the line for Machida Zelvia now. Scored just the once this season. That was in the 2-0 win at home to Yokohama F. Marinos in their last home game here. Fujio started that game, though. Yosuke Uchida is about to be replaced for Tokyo Verdy by Ryota Inoue. So change for the visitors. Tokumura's throw towards Fujio. Hayashi hacks it away. Camera looking to pick up the loose ball, but the whistle has gone for a free kick to Tokyo Verdy. In a way to Arai. Now the decision goes the other way. Tokumura. Dresovic. Fortunate that the ball rebounded straight to his goalkeeper. There's Nakamura. Fukuda winning the ball back. With the Walter Hayashi. Real up and under from Hotuka Nakamura. Saito. And fell for the shot for Fukuda. And that will be a goal kick off the head of Fukazawa. Captain's role tonight from him at the back. Jen Shoji has been everywhere. Sento. And now Fujio. Twists away from one player and another. Fujio, and he can't finish it. Well, most certainly would have been the moment of the game from Shota Fujio. Really lively play, though. The kind of play that's been missing from the forward line of Machida Zelvia this evening. Really positive play from Shota Fujio, but just not the finish. 10 minutes to go then, 10 minutes from penalties. Fujio. Here's Hayashi. Back with Mateus Vidotto. Morita. Back again to the Tokyo Verdy captain. Suzuki. Pretty quiet in the Tokyo Verdy end. Haven't had too much to get their teeth into, in fairness. Machida Zelvia on the front foot for most of the game. But despite that, Mateus Vidotto largely untroubled. Na Sang-ho. Shoji. Nakamura going on the outside of Fukazawa. Is there to be a sting in the tail of this contest? Back with Tani. Keisuke Saito with the touchback. So again, FC Tokyo will certainly be the happy team if this remains at 0-0. Machida Zelvia with the chance to move within a point of them in that fight for second place in the table, which could be significant if Gamba Osaka are beaten in the Champions League 2 final. If they win that competition, by the way, then they will take the qualification spot in next season's AFC Champions League Elite. Potential in third place playoff becoming important regarding qualification for Asia's top competition only becomes significant if Gamba lose to Al Nassr. Machida Zelvia really do need the points here to keep those hopes alive. A lot of factors have to happen, of course. Fukazawa. Machida Zelvia will be playing Asian club football next season, but at the moment in the second tier AFC Champions League 2. Sento. Fujio. Sento. Now Nakamura. Header behind for another Machida Zelvia corner. Shirasaki and Tokumura are coming off. Nakayama and Shimada, the two replacements. Another Machida Zelvia corner. Queuing up in and around the penalty area, and then they all prepare to go their separate ways. Dresovic is in there. That swinger is headed away only as far as Sento, who feeds it back in and high over the top. Dresovic. Hayashi, too much on that. Machida Zelvia may have struggled to create in the final third, but same can be labelled at Tokyo Verdy. Not had as much of the ball, but when they've had opportunities, again, the end product hasn't been there for them. It really has been a thankless task for Mitsuki Somino up front for Tokyo Verdy. Barely had any service at all. Dresovic. Camera. Tokyo Verdy on the back foot again. Here's Fujio. No way through there. Machida Zelvia heading for their 7th penalty shootout of the season. They've won 4, lost 2 of their previous 6. It would be the 4th penalty shootout for Tokyo Verdy, who have won all 3 of their previous spot kick competitions. One of them against Machida Zelvia. Well, the captain Morita won't be taking one. He and Saito are coming off as the centre of the midfield is completely changed. Inami and Hirakawa coming on. Shoji with the throw. Final minute of regulation time, just 3 to be added on. And it goes from Shoji. Tokyo Verdy get it away. Here's Dresovic. Well, it would be a really strange league double, wouldn't it, to complete the double over a team by winning 2 penalty shootouts. That is potentially on the agenda for Tokyo Verdy. That's a good ball in, though. And the header is past the post from Hotaka, the camera. That's a good run in off the right side. Nobody really covered the run. He rose well, but the ball just skidding off the forehead, as it can do in these conditions. And rainfall hasn't let up at all, which is more of a problem for the spectators in the open areas than it is for the players, of course. There's Nasang Ho. Fujio in the centre, made his run. The ball didn't arrive, though. Shimada headed away. Now Somino. A rare touch of the ball for the Tokyo Verdy centre forward. It didn't last for long. Here's Shoji. Now Sento. In by Nakamura. Shimada. Back from Na. And that's going to go through to Matheus Vidotto, and we have about 60 seconds left. It's going to be a 5th unbeaten game for Machida Zelvia. There's Dresovic. It's looking like a crucial dropped point or points, depending on what happens in the shootout in the chase for second. Realistically, they're not going to get above Kashima Antlers. FC Tokyo, the only team with an outside chance of doing that. Kashima Antlers 4 points ahead at the top of the East with 2 games to go. A win at the weekend will confer them as the side going forward into the championship final from the East region, where they will face either Nagoya Grampus or Vissel Kobe. And if that is the case, the winner of the West region, if Kashima Antlers qualify, in that respect, will qualify for the Champions League Elite because of Kashima Antlers already being there. Can their side snatch it right at the death here? The 3 minutes are up. Surely the last opportunity for either team to win the game. Outside of the penalty shootout, Arai delivers. Solid header away though from a camera. And as it did earlier in the season, Machida Zelvia against Tokyo Verdy will need a penalty shootout to decide the extra point. They have drawn again for the 2nd time this season. It was 2-2 earlier in the campaign at the Ajinomoto Stadium, and here at the Machida GION Stadium it has finished goalless. It is a point apiece, and on Matheus Vidotto's return to first team action for the first time since early March, he will face a penalty shootout. It's finished Machida Zelvia 0, Tokyo Verdy 0, and it will be penalties to decide who comes away this evening with the extra point. Well, he wasn't worth that much in the game, Matheus Vidotto, despite Machida Zelvia's dominance of possession. And he's got some work to do now. So penalties to decide this. It was 4-3 to Tokyo Verdy, who have quite the record, as I was saying, in penalty shootouts this season. They've won all 3 of the penalty shootouts they've been involved with. Machida Zelvia have a positive record as well. They've won 4 and lost 2 of their 6 shootouts. One of those, of course, to Tokyo Verdy. The other penalty shootout loss they suffered was in their last one, actually, at the start of May, after drawing 1-1 with Kashima Antlers, the champions and the East region leaders. They lost that shootout 4-2, just 4 days after they'd beaten Mito Hollyhock 4-3 on penalties. But it's not too difficult to see where the problems may lie next season for Machida Zelvia, as they look to challenge at the very top of J1 again, breaking teams down. Their run to the Champions League Elite final, as I was saying, was littered with tight games and 1-0 victories. They're good at dominating possession, they keep the ball well, but they do lack an end product, something that Go Kurada needs to try and sort out between the end of this and the start of next season. So shootout time then. And Nasang Ho will take the first one for Machida Zelvia. Wasn't involved in the shootout the first time around. And these sides met back in February. Oh, and he fires it in. Nasang Ho. Good spot kick. Machida Zelvia up and running. Machida Zelvia and Kashiwa, the only teams in either the East or West who have unbeaten records in penalty shootouts, but Kashiwa have only been involved in one. 3 out of 3 for Tokyo Verdy. Here's Somino, who's barely touched the ball, and it goes in just about. 1-1. And Koze Tani probably fairly should have saved that. Spin on the ball, taking it in. What a big chance that was for Koze Tani to make the save. I think Somino thought he missed it, and you can see there, puff of the cheek, sigh of relief. Oh, he knows that was a chance. Yuta Nakayama for Machida Zelvia. Scored his penalty back in February and scores so again. Scored their first 3 penalties actually in the shootout earlier in the season. Hiroto Yamami had missed for Tokyo Verdy, but then they missed their last 2. Solid start this time around again. Can Koze Tani keep this one out? This Yuya Fukuda. Not involved in the shootout last time around. Oh, and he's put it over. Hits the bar. And as in the shootout in February, Machida Zelvia scored their first 2 and Tokyo Verdy missed their second one. But this time, it is Yuya Fukuda instead of Hiroto Yamami who misses for Tokyo Verdy. And their perfect record in spot kicks this season is in some jeopardy now. Ibrahim Dresovic, who took and scored the 3rd one earlier this season and scores again. Top corner, that's a beauty from Dresovic. Well, if there was a textbook of how to take penalties, that would certainly be in it. And a bit of pressure on this penalty now. There's Yuta Arai. Steps forward. He took and scored the 4th penalty for Tokyo Verdy last time. And this really does need to go in. Doesn't look overly confident, does he? Stuttering run up, but straight down the middle and scores. It's one of those again. If Koze Tani had stood there, he would have caught it. But if Machida Zelvia keeps scoring, there is nothing that Tokyo Verdy can do now. Hokuto Shimada scored his penalty back in February. Chance to make it 4-2. And then the pressure is really on Tokyo Verdy. Sends the keeper the wrong way. And it is 4 out of 4 for Machida Zelvia. And this has to go in now for Tokyo Verdy. Well, Machida Zelvia have won and they snatch the extra point, which, who knows, could be crucial in the chase for second. Tetsuyuki Inami has to score for Tokyo Verdy, or Machida Zelvia have won the shootout. He's hit the post! And Tokyo Verdy's perfect run in penalty shootouts is over. Machida Zelvia gain a bit of revenge for the 4-3 loss on penalties back in February with a 4-2 penalty shootout win here. They grab the extra point, which takes them to 33 in the table. They are 2 points behind FC Tokyo with 2 games to play in the chase for the third place playoff, with the Tokyo side still hopeful of snatching top spot from Kashima Antlers. It is finished here though at the Machida GION Stadium. Machida Zelvia 0, Tokyo Verdy 0. Machida Zelvia win 4-2 on penalties. So 5 wins from 7 penalty shootouts is a pretty good return from Machida Zelvia. Tokyo Verdy beaten for the first time on spot kicks this season. It's 1 each between these 2 teams who have drawn both their derby matches against each other this season. Not the 3 points that Machida Zelvia were hoping for, but who knows what will happen in the final 2 round of games. They are still in the conversation for second place at least. They are 6 points behind Kashima Antlers, who have a massively better goal difference as well. So top spot, even mathematically now, is surely beyond Machida Zelvia. 2 misses this time around for Tokyo Verdy. Fukuda hitting the bar, Inami hitting the post. And the day belongs to Machida Zelvia. It's quite a good use of the extra point, isn't it? In the 3 points for a win system. Not sure if it'll be taken up by any other league. And here's Jin Shoji, the Machida captain.
FC 町田ゼルビアキャプテンの庄司源選手に伺います。PK 戦にもつれ込んで勝ち点2を取りました。まず今この2をどう受け止めていらっしゃいますか？
そうですね、一つでも上に行くために、もちろん90分で勝ち点3が欲しかったですが、最低限のことはできたかなと思ってます。
試合振り返りますと互いに守備の堅いゲームでした。どのようにご覧になってたんでしょう？
両チーム守備が自信のあるチームだと思いますし、そんなにお互い決定機が多くない中で、確実に1本決めるところっていうのが、